I've been coming on here and teaching you guys about monetizing multiple platforms, blogs being one of them. Monetizing means making money, and we're making money on our blogs with a variety of methods. It could be affiliate income, it could be ad revenue, it could be sponsorships. There's so many ways to make money with blogs. So I did a travel blog on here a couple weeks ago that was very popular, and I thought, let me come on here and give you the concepts of a food blog using AI. All right. So some of you guys, if you're just totally against AI, scroll on. This video is not going to be for you. Those of you that think it's evil and whatever, this is not for you. But what I want to explain is this. AI technology has come so far that we can now take any recipe, put it into ChatGPT, and it has a library of these recipes. Let me give you an example. I'm using the Harpa Chrome extension up here. This is powered by ChatGPT. This is going to give you an example. Give me a recipe for an easy cheeseburger casserole. And don't even worry about spelling because it'll fix it. Casserole is one of those foods and what's like, So I'm a good example of somebody, I really don't cook a lot. When I do cook, I'll do some like low carb and some keto or some basic meals. So I need help with recipes. All right, so here we go. So it's giving us this easy cheeseburger casserole recipe, okay? I'm not stealing this from anyone. This is how many times have people done cheeseburger casseroles, right? So now we don't have to go get another recipe, although you could plug in a recipe to be inspired by and it'll do that too. But just for the sake of it, look what it does. Okay, a pound of ground beef. So I need to know how many people does this serve? And it'll tell us this serves 4 to 6. Okay. For my blog, I'm doing 2 people recipes. So now what it'll do is it'll change the recipe from 4 people to 2 people, and it knows how to do this for us automatically. See how we went from a pound of ground beef to half a pound of ground beef? Okay. So this is going to be amazingly accurate when you ask it to replace things. Now watch this. I'm going to say, make it low carb. And it will now change the cheeseburger recipe to low carb. It'll use cauliflower instead of other ingredients. So you can take any recipe and make it sugar-free, make it low carb, make it for less people, make it for more people. Instead of chicken, use fish, or instead of this, use that. Instead of pasta, in fact, what is it telling us instead of pasta? Is that the low carb? Is that the cauliflower florets? Yes. This is, I do low carb, so I know this is totally a low carb or a keto meal, whatever. You can say make it paleo. So wherever you want to go with your food blog, you're going to be able to niche down. Watch this. Make it an Instant Pot recipe. So now it'll teach you how to do it in an Instant Pot. Or you could say do this as a one pan recipe or cookie sheet recipe or whatever. So the idea here is not that we're not hurting the user experience. We are improving the user experience using AI technology because now we can get it exactly like we want it. So when you're creating your food blog, my suggestion is you start with some sort of a niche. But maybe you don't box yourself in with your URL. Let me give you an example. My food blog, now I just whipped this up mainly for the sake of teaching you guys, although I am going to go with it and see what it does. So this is the Ballen Bites is what I named it. You know what I love about this URL? First of all, Ballen is my last name. So I have Ballen Blogger and LoriBallen.com and BallenVegas.com, BallenBoho.com. Anyway, BallenBites.com. It could be keto. It could be sugar-free. It could be all things. It could be holidays. It could be snacks. It could be meal prep. It has the ability to grow into whatever I want it to be. So I don't like, when I first started food blogging years ago, I was a keto coach and I did ketodays.com. And that boxes that website in. It really can't go beyond keto and low carb. It could do some sugar-free and healthy stuff. But you see what I'm saying? So my suggestion is build your URL into something that's sellable, The reason mine is sellable too is because even though my last name is Ballen, people pronounce that Ballen. And it's got kind of that, hey, this website's ballin'. It's got kind of that play on it. So it would be sellable anyway. But some people just put their name in there and that's fine. But keep it short. I usually suggest 2 words or 3 at most. So my websites are Ballen Blogger, Lori Ballen, Ballen Vegas, Ballen Bites. I just registered Ballen Bucks, Ballen Boho. So I like that kind of play. And I did some analysis on sellable domains, and 2-word domains were the highest valued. So that's another reason I do it. They're easy to remember. They're easy to add as a footer. So that's my suggestion. Now, I registered my domain name at GoDaddy. I'll put a link in the description below. You go to GoDaddy, you play around with the domains, you register it. Then you go over to WP Engine. There's also a link below. You set up your basic hosting package. Then it will have a button that allows you to push a button, and it will take your login for GoDaddy, and it will set up your domain to go to your new website. It does it all for you. So it's really nice step-by-step processes. This theme is the Essence Pro theme. It's included in your hosting when you go over to WP Engine. And if you look at my websites, at least at this moment, they are all the Essence Pro theme. So it gives you kind of an idea here of what the Essence Pro theme looks like with a variety of niches. So I have ads on this website, and as you can see, this one is all about, basically this one's really aiming towards home decor. I've got some stuff with crafts on here, but this is the same theme. Then I have LoriBallen.com as my digital marketing blog, also on the same theme. So I like these big blocks. You can make this an all-wide theme. You do not have to have sidebars if you don't want them. But I keep trying themes, and I keep coming back to this one because overall I love how it looks on mobile. I love how it looks on desktop. It just works for me. Everybody's always asking me, where did you get your theme? So I thought, why not keep this one for the food blog, at least for the moment. Okay. When you set this up, I'll put a link to a video where I do this setup on the Essence Pro as well if you want to watch my step-by-step. But you can also download their guide. It'll tell you every page, one by one. Here's how you set up your menus. Here's how you set up the demo content. So you can do it. You're just going to have to follow their step, and then the next step, and then the next step, okay? And you'll be sailing. Okay. So now let me show you what this looks like. So I did this one this morning. And how did I figure out what recipe to create? All right, there's a couple of ways to do this. One, you can just go over to Pinterest. If you don't have the money to invest in fancy schmancy tools, which I'll show you one of those in a second, you actually can just come over here to Pinterest and you can type something in like recipes. Now, let's niche you down somewhat, because what we know is that if you just try to be all things, it's going to be very competitive. So my suggestion is that you come up here and you start with one of these niches, okay? So maybe you're going to do maybe your whole website's going to be built around easy recipes, okay? So let's just say we're really going to go with the niche easy recipes. So we're going to start with whatever easy recipes come up. And how did I get that idea? Because I just popped down here to easy. Maybe you're going to start with all soup recipes. Maybe your whole website's going to be desserts. Now remember, you can scale later. Maybe you're going to start with healthy. Maybe you're going to start with all dinner recipes. But this is kind of a good like little pulse on what's working on here. Okay. So let's just say you know that you want to do easy recipes. So I think that's where I'm going to start. Where my niche is going to go, I think I'm going to do easy recipes for 2 and easy recipes for 1, because I'm a singleton and it's very hard to find recipes that don't make a large amount of food. Now, I could do ones that are great for leftovers, great for storing. I might go that direction, but in my head, I'm kind of thinking I want to do easy recipes for 2 or easy recipes for 1. Anyway, that's just kind of what's in my head. So look at what happens when we type in easy recipes. We get easy sweet recipes. We get 5-minute snacks. We get easy healthy recipes, yada, yada. Well, this is where this Marry Me chicken pasta recipe came up. I've never even heard of Marry Me chicken pasta recipe. Now, what I wanted to do was make sure that this wasn't unique to one person. I don't want to be stealing somebody's idea. That's not what I'm trying to do. So I came over here to Google and I just typed in marry me chicken pasta to make sure that this is a widely used term. It is. It's not one person. Then I looked at why is it called marry me pasta? And it's called that because it came from a viral TikTok walking you through a chicken recipe that was so good. Anyone who ate it would ask you to marry them, yada, yada. So you can see it's on all these different websites. So there's no one person staking a claim to that particular name of a recipe. I just kind of wanted to make sure of that, okay? Just to make sure. Because I'm not trying to steal people's ideas, but it's so widely spread and used that I could use it. So then the next thing I did is I used ChatGPT. So however you're using ChatGPT on your phone, on your computer, with a Chrome extension built into your blog, it doesn't matter. So here's what I'm going to do. Give me a recipe for marry me chicken. Your prompt can be conversational. Just talk to ChatGPT like it was your assistant, okay? So look what it did. Marry me chicken serves 2. Now mine automatically gave me the serves 2 because this is like a proposal meal. So it makes sense that it would be for 2 people. So here's what it gave us. You know, here's the chicken breast, salt and pepper to taste, olive oil. Then it gives you the step-by-steps, okay? Now, if you want to elaborate on this, do it again, but tell me the story behind the recipe. Because what we know is sometimes food bloggers will go on and on and on because it increases the view on the page, which increases the opportunity to show ads, which increases the revenue. So this is one reason they will do this. So here you go. Here's the marry me chicken. It's talking about how it was a social media sensation. All right, well, that does make sense to include in my blog then, I would think. Then it gives the instructions. Now, you can add in a shopping list. You can add in things to avoid, special tips, anything you want for this recipe, and you're good to go. You can also change this, make it for 4 people, like I showed you in the beginning. You can do make it keto. You could do make it crock pot. Whatever you want, it's going to do it for you, okay? So we went from 2 chicken breasts to 4 chicken breasts. You get the idea. Okay. Now let me go back here to where we just had the first one, the first recipe. Now I'm going to say, give me an image prompt for what this might look like when it's finished. Just the dish, not the room or table. The reason why I'm doing that is because sometimes it would show the proposal or it would show the wine glasses. And in this particular case, because we're doing this for food blog, I just want the image prompt. Now, in this case, it's making us an image, which is not what I asked for. I asked for the prompt. That happens every now and then. Let me just see what it came up with. Now, for those of you wondering, I am using the ChatGPT paid version. Whatever, mine's like $20 a month or something like that. And that does include an image creator. However, in my experience, the image creator from ChatGPT is not as good as this other paid tool that I'm using. But if you want it to be grouped into here and you want to use these, you can use the ChatGPT. It's powered by Dolly, the AI image creator, and it will create images for you. You will time out after a certain number of uses. You'll have to walk away and come back, you know, that kind of thing. So while that's finishing up there, I'm going to show you, this is the one I use, ideogram.ai. Okay. This is a tool that is free, but then you have to pay for it. All of these images here, I did not create. These are other people's creations that they're sharing. I don't make mine public typically. So what we're going to do is it did what I wanted it to do now. It changed it to an image prompt to visually capture the finished marry me chicken. So it says the chicken breast, sun-dried tomatoes, flecks of Italian herbs. All right, let's try this and let's see how this comes out. So you know what I might do first? Let's just see a dish of Marry Me chicken. I need to see if the AI editor knows what that is. So let's make it a 16 by 9, just a featured blog image. So at the bottom right, you're going to see these images pop up. There is a Canvas version now of this as well, where you can open it up and do edits. But for the sake of this video, keeping it nice and easy, I'm just going to show you how it comes up in here. So we're going to see if this AI even knows what Marry Me Chicken is before I give it any more prompts. It does not. It just knows it's chicken. It's a chicken dish. All right, we need to prompt it. So eventually, I wouldn't be surprised if the AI images just start knowing what you're trying to create very simply, because they're coming so far. But in this case, we're going to give it more of a prompt. Now, you can, and this is where people, they don't like when I share this. You can go find an image of Marry Me Chicken on a website. You can upload it to ChatGPT, and you can ask it to describe it. In fact, let me show you this, because I don't like what we're coming up with here. So let me give you an example of this. Marry Me Chicken Pasta. I think I forgot the pasta part. Okay, so let's go to images. Let's just find one that looks like what you think your recipe is creating. Okay, so look at all the different styles. You know, that pasta, what did our pasta include? Let's see if it said, okay, let's see what the pasta says. Oh, isn't this interesting? I don't even see it over pasta. So maybe, okay, this chicken, I'm going to say do it again, and it should be a pasta dish. Maybe I didn't Marry Me Chicken Pasta. I didn't give it the full instructions. No. Give me the recipe for 2 people. Marry Me Chicken Pasta. That was my bad. I titled it wrong. Okay, there it is. Now I'm going to say, give me a prompt for what this dish would look like once it's done. You know, this is a good practice anyway, to tell it to give you that prompt, because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have caught that my recipe was wrong. I wanted the one with pasta, but I was moving too fast. I created the recipe, but because I was able to look at the image, I was like, that doesn't look right. Then I realized I forgot the pasta. So we'll let that finish, and it will give it to us. But let me show you this other little workaround. This is the one people go, oh, you're stealing images, but you're really not. You're going to have ChatGPT interpret what it sees, so you can create something similar. Now, did our recipe say, ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let me see if it'll make this a 16:9. That is what was in my head. So your pasta style, you could be specific and tell ChatGPT what kind of pasta you want to use in the recipe. So in this case, it just says like fettuccine, penne, or spaghetti. But if you wanted it to say penne, then you could make this image a penne pasta. But see where it messed up here? Now it gave a, oh, it didn't mess up because we said or. This is actually beautiful. I would use this. This, we said or, any kind of pasta. So if we don't want to use or, we would have to tell the recipe specifically what kind of pasta. But if I want to use this now, I can just go up right here, click that little arrow, I would say Marry Me Chicken Pasta Dish. Now it's saving it in the web PHP format. Most of the WordPress blogs now prefer that image. But if I wanted to, I could just say Marry Me Pasta and save it .jpg, and then it would save it as a JPEG. And then it'll say, do you really want to use a JPEG? Yes, I want to use a JPEG. Don't worry about that until you know you need to worry about that. But most of the WordPress themes now are preferring it in that web, whatever it is, PHP, web, that format. What was it called? Web. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to pull it up in a second. So now I'm going to say, now Okay, I'll show you where the AI image editor comes in really cool in a second. So let's just pretend we're going to use this because I'm already paying for ChatGPT. I like the image that came out. I don't need to change that. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so I would go into my Marry Me chicken pasta and I'm going to come up here to edit and I'm going to load that as a featured image, right? But what else could I do? Well, let's see how I created this pin. So up here, I've got Harpa, my Chrome extension running, and I pre-saved a GPT, which is basically just a saved command for my Ballen Bites food blog to create a pin. So it's right here. I called mine FEM Ballen Bites. And it's just basically a prompt that I created where I tell it what colors I want it to use, that I want it to create Pinterest descriptions for me. I do have a coaching program. I share all of this in my courses and coaching program. There's a link below. But you can just play around with this and set it up and save it. Then up here, here's my prompt. Design a Pinterest style image with the soft feminine colors like blush pink, ivory, and hints of sage green. Background should feature a warm, cozy kitchen scene with subtle elements like a skillet of creamy pasta, fresh basil, Parmesan cheese, and sun-dried tomatoes, centered in bold text overlay. Marry Me chicken pasta. The only concern is I didn't see that it says chicken on there. We'll find out. So I might have to add chicken on top of it. So then I go over to this ideogram. I'm going to paste this in. And I'm going to say 9 by 16. Generate. Now we're going to wait. It said pasta, but I didn't see, I might have skipped it. It didn't say chicken. Now, so that prompt it created was based on my preset GPT where I have it scan the page, read the blog, read the recipe, and then create a Pinterest style image, which is what I want. Okay. All right, Marry Me chicken pasta. Let me see. Oh, that looks so good. Oh my gosh, this is perfection. Perfection. Let me see the other one. Here's this one, Marry Me chicken pasta. Okay, that one got the URL messed up at the bottom. Oh, that looks great, except for this little logo thing it put on there. So typically when I do these little things, as long as I get one, I'm good to go. Okay, so what do I do now? Oh, this is so good. I go up here to the three little dots. I'm going to go to download. I'm going to save it. You can save it as PNG. You can save it as a JPEG. I'm going to save it to my images. Now what do you do? Well, you have a couple choices. You can put it on your blog for saving later, and then you can schedule your pin from there with whatever Pinterest tool you like to use. Or we can go right over to Pinterest. So I'm going to go to Pinterest. I'm already in my Ballen Bites account. I am going to go right here and I'm going to, actually, let me go to Pinterest. Let's pretend this might even be our first pin we've ever made. It's my third, but let's just say. So I'm going to go to create pin and I'm going to browse for my image and I'm going to paste. Oh, that pin is perfection. I used to have to pay for these templates. This is so good. Now you can preset exact colors. If you have a theme, when I'm launching a new website, I usually test colors. I'll do a bunch of colors and then whatever tends to start rising to the top, then I will save my GPT as that color scheme and I'll change my website to match that color scheme. If you're big on branding and you want to set that all up in the advance, you absolutely can. So I'm going to do this right here and I'm going to say the recipe. Actually, let me just do Marry Me chicken pasta dinner for two. Now remember, I'm doing easy. Remember, that's like my theme is easy for two or easy for one. So I'm going to do easy Marry Me chicken pasta dinner for two. I should have probably put it in my pin as well. So if I wanted to change it, I would go up here and I would just go to wherever that overlay is, Marry Me chicken pasta, and I would change that to easy Marry Me chicken pasta for two. So watch what it does. So if it's important to me, I will tell you, I've been testing this. There absolutely is a correlation with keyword ranking between your Pinterest title, description, and what you put on the image. Absolutely. So if you're really being purposeful, you will know your target keyword for that recipe and you'll do a little SEO and you'll put it in the title. Okay, so now, oh, how cute. So look at this. Easy marry me chicken pasta for 2. The recipe's so good. Don't want to put a ring on it. This is perfect. I could go with this one. It's good to go. What about that second one? Same thing. How about the third one? Ooh, that one's really nice. Really nice. I love it. And then the fourth one, oh yeah. Okay, so anyway, you get the concept here, okay? So you upload it here. Then you put in a detailed description. Well, remember how we pulled down this Harpa? Look what Harpa does for me. It creates me a variety of Pinterest titles and descriptions based on the prompt that I gave it. But if you wanted to, you could just take this top portion, your little excerpt, your little intro, and you can make that your description if you wanted to. Okay, now remember though, we ought to put our target keyword in here, and something like, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say the easy marry me chicken pasta dinner for 2. You know, I'm still including those keywords. Then you go in here and you're going to put a link. Now you need a board. So your Pinterest board, I'm setting up multiple boards. So here's how boards work. On Pinterest, if you go over to Pinterest and you do a little search up here for, let's just say chicken recipes. Most of these little suggestions under here are typically boards that people would set up on their Pinterest account. Easy chicken recipes, rotisserie chicken recipes, shredded chicken recipes. So this is a board, this is a board, this is a board. Each pin is pinned on a board that it's most closely related to. Well, if you think about it, some of these boards, if you're creating a shredded chicken recipe, it might be an easy one. It might be dinner. It might be healthy. Then it could fit on all of those boards, kind of like Pinterest, like WordPress tags would work, or WordPress posts and categories. And what's going to happen is, as we create more boards, we're going to be able to pin that pin one at a time, not all at once, on these different boards, which will make it come across the user's feed more often. I'll get into that in another video. But the concept is this: one pin, multiple boards that pin could fit on. Then we're going to repin that pin onto all of the boards that it would fit on over time. Maybe a week apart, maybe 30 days apart if you're creating a lot of them. Then we'll go in and we'll create a new pin, and we'll do it all again to keep that blog active and circulating on our Pinterest account. So the nice thing about these food blogs is that we can put these in so many places. It's incredible. Now, I realized what I forgot to show you was that little controversial method to creating an image. And what I was going to show you is this. So let's just take this recipe here, and we say, this is the one. This is what, in our head, this is what our marry me chicken pasta looks like. Or maybe you actually made it, and this is similar, but your picture is ugly because I'm a terrible food photographer, and this one looks better, and so you're going to go off of this. Watch how this works. All I'm going to do, I'm not going to use this image. I'm actually, I don't think Harpa will do it. I'm just going to grab this image for the sake of scanning for inspiration. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to take this little paper clip, and I'm going to upload this picture that we just took. It's in my desktops. It's right there. Okay. There's other really cool reasons why we would do this. It could help create an entire brand off of one image. But let's just say, okay, I'm going to say describe this image. So all we're doing is using this image for inspiration, and you will see what I mean, that we are not stealing that image. It's inspiration, and we're going to create a unique image off of this inspiration. So this image shows a skillet. Look at it, knew what it was. With marry me chicken pasta. Pasta is coated in a rich, creamy Parmesan sauce, giving it a smooth golden appearance. Bite-sized pieces of seared chicken are distributed throughout. So what it does is it just basically describes what we were trying to create in a much better way. Now watch this. We go over to Ideogram, and we're going to paste this in here, but I'm going to do a 16.9 so that we get, or you can do a square. Let's do a square. I'll just show you so you can see what a square looks like. So square image would be like the Instagram picture. Square images work also on Facebook. They work on Twitter. They could work on your blog. So let's just pretend we're going to use a square image. So here was our inspiration. This was our inspirational photo. Here comes our actual image. Look at this. As you can see, it really is not at all that picture. Not at all. But it understood these are small slices of cheese. These are smaller noodles. These are diced chicken breasts. It got a better concept of what a Mary Me chicken could look like. Okay. And if you wanted to change the pasta up here, bite-sized seared chicken, hearty element to the dish, sun-dried tomatoes, rustic tangy touch, fresh basil leaves against the creamy, watch this, penny pasta. You can get more specific with your prompt after that. So we absolutely, in no way did we use that person's image. It doesn't look anything like that, but it got the concept across much better to the AI as to what we were trying to create. So I want to be clear on this. I'm not teaching you to use somebody else's image to create a likeness of that image as much as I am. It's a better way of explaining to ChatGPT or to AI. Now, what you also could do here is you could say the image shows a skillet. You could put shows a stove with a skillet. Now it's going to change again the overall image to, instead of being a close-up like this, we want to see maybe a little bit farther back. So playing with these prompts is going to give you so much more control over what your finished product looks like. You could say it's served on a wooden plate on a table with a cloth napkin, okay? What's funny is this one didn't give us a stove, but I really like this one. That one's really good. That's a nice one because we can see the whole dish and there's a table in the background. What does this one look like? Ooh, love that one. That's beautiful. So again, inspired by, yes. The same picture? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So this is now how we can make a food blog without actually doing the dishes, taking the pictures, setting up all the lighting, and we're providing a very good user experience. Now, here's one thing I'm going to show you really quick, and this is just going to be my personal suggestion. I am now going to add a disclaimer on here that I'm using AI. So let me show you how I do that really quick for free. Okay, so you're looking at the back end of WordPress. So this might be a little unnerving for you when you first set this up, but once you kind of learn what everything is, it's going to be pretty simple. But down here, there's something called plugins. Plugins add functionality to your WordPress website. I'm going to go to add a new plugin, and I'm going to add in affiliate disclosure. This is the one I use on my other website, so I'm comfortable with it, and I'll show you what it does. Affiliate disclosure. It's this one right here, WP affiliate disclosure. I'm going to, and there's other ones, but this one has 2,000 installs. This one has 2,000. I haven't tried this one, I don't think. I'm just going to go with this one right now because it works on all my themes and all my websites, so I know it works with this theme. So I'm going to click activate, and you can decide if you want it to give you updates or not. Now, we're going to configure our disclosure. So I'm going to click let's get started. It's going to open a little box for us where it's going to allow us to put in whatever little disclosure we want to show up on our blog. Then we can choose where we want it to show up. Now, in my case, I'm going to go ahead and put in a little affiliate disclosure on there because I might want to include affiliate links. Then I'm also going to include the AI disclosure in there. Okay, I'm going to just refresh that because that's taking too long. I'm going to go right here to affiliate disclosure, close the wizard. There we go. I'm going to go to add a new rule. This is going to be my little disclosure. Enter a name below. The name is affiliate disclosure. Okay, here we go. And then, whoops, I'm sorry. Click the configuration wizard. I'm not sure why that is not. Let's give it a second. I guess it does have to configure the first time. That takes a little bit of time. So 1 second here. Okay, it was being really fickle. So here's what I did. I just clicked add new rule, and then I just did affiliate. Now they have a paid version. The wizard wasn't working for some reason, but they have a paid version that allows you to add more than one disclosure. I'm just going with this one. So I called it affiliate, and then I'm going to click edit. Let me show you what this is going to look like when it's done. If we go to my Ballen blogger, for example, and I click on any blog, this is where it is. It's right up top. And it says this website contains affiliate links. Some products are gifted by the brand to test. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. The content on this website was created with the help of AI. That's my disclosure, okay? You can put whatever you want up there, and I'm just going to put it right here. Okay, now you can choose where this shows up. Before the post content, after the post content. If you're paying for the upgrade, you can make it a short code. You can make it a widget. I'm going to click before post content. The reason why is because FTC, Federal Trade Commission, requires that all of your disclosures related to affiliate marketing be near or before a link, not after. So you can't bury that in the footer. So for me, I just prefer to have it up top. And there may be reasons I change that later, but I'm just telling you that's the way I have it right now. So let me show you what this does. So now when I refresh this, you'll see the disclosures right here. Whoops, that's not the disclosure I put in there. This website contains affiliate links. I didn't save it. There we go. Now let me refresh it. And it's the Marry Me Chicken. Now it's at the bottom. I want it to be at the top. So before post content, save changes. Now let me try it one more time. Now it should be in the right spot. So if you pay for their version, you can have it in multiple places. So here it is. This website contains affiliate links. I think in my case, I have it on both. Yeah, mine's on the top and the bottom now, which is fine with me. Double disclosure. Now, some people put their disclosures in the sidebar, and let me tell you why that doesn't work. When you shrink this website down to a mobile, that sidebar disappears. Watch what happens. That sidebar disappears. It moves to the bottom. Well, if your disclosures have to be before your links, that's going to get you in trouble with the Federal Trade Commission. So while I support also putting it in a widget in the right-hand column, you might as well disclose. Sometimes I'll put it up top in the header. But I just wanted to show you for the sake of this. Now, why am I disclosing AI in this particular case? Just because I'm starting to feel like I don't want people to feel like they're being deceived. And food blogs especially, people get so upset when it's an AI image or something that doesn't really depict the reality of the food. So if it's disclosed, I feel like that's just going to create a better user experience. I have that on, like here, a dark boho bedroom. It says right here, created with the help of AI. I don't want somebody to think I went in there and designed that whole bedroom and took a picture. But I don't think people will mind going, oh, I'm inspired by that picture. Okay, that's AI. Now, I will find ways to enhance showing them where to buy these items, yada, yada, but that's for a whole nother video. For the sake of today, food blogging, I think that does the job. And this is where we're starting. Do I know for sure that you're going to be able to get this monetized? I don't know everything for sure. But I think this is a fun project. I'm testing it with it. And I will let you know when I get approved for monetization for this blog and exactly how I'm monetizing it. But for the time being, I wanted to show you how you can use AI to launch a blog. I'm Lori Ballen. Thank you for joining me today.